Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lake County Sentinel Entertainment Extra Beyond the Gates weekly recap. I'm your host, Tim Shirer, and we're going to talk about Beyond the Gates for the next possibly 30 minutes, maybe not quite that long, but, we're going to recap the week. We're 2 years in now. Well, no, not two. We're the second season of the show. We're about a year and a half in. Today actually is one and a half years that the show's been on, 18 months. It just gets better all the time. And there's a lot of storylines that have been started but never completed. So I think that's a good thing, because what that does is leave stuff open for the future, and it should be pretty exciting. But early in the week, Ted came to stay with Eva while Isaiah, played by Lammy, ran some errands. And, of course, Leslie showed up, and started to hit on him like she always does. And then, Ted told her that he's had enough of it and that she needs to stop doing it. And of course, Ted was, he's pretty pissed off about it. So he started yelling. And, Ava, who was asleep in her room, came out, and she, Ted left. But Ava told Leslie that she needed to stop. She needed to stop doing that. And she was not going to risk her relationship with her father because Leslie acted like she did. And she told Leslie to leave. And Leslie, she left. And that was pretty much it. But Ted did tell Shanice that he loved her, and that she wasn't sure how to take it at first. Then she realized she was happy to hear it. She had had heartbreak in the past, and I think that was, why she was hesitant. Shanice then asked Nicole if it bothered her, and Nicole told her no. She thinks that her and Ted make a good couple, and that she has moved on also. Of course she has, with Carlton and Kyle, so Elon had lunch earlier in the week with Isaiah. And, Isaiah was suspicious. He was like, he didn't know if he wanted to go, because there's always something going on with Isaiah or with Elon. And he always has he's always going to be critical of Isaiah. But they ended up having a good lunch, and that was good. Naomi, has finally now told the whole family that she has the Bronca gene, and that, she's really talking about doing radical treatments to prevent getting cancer. She has talked about getting a double mastectomy. Danny, of course, being a model, is against the double mastectomy. And Danny, when she told Anita, of course, was sad that, Naomi had the gene. But Danny then asked Anita if she would talk to Naomi about not getting a double mastectomy. And Anita said she would not. Anita said, I'm not going to talk her out of it. If that's what she wants to do, then she'll do it. And after what Anita went through with cancer, I think she, she's not going to talk her out of it. She's going to let her do what she wants. So Kyle, speaking of Kyle earlier with Nicole, with Kyle and Carlton, uh, Kyle's son Kyle's son Noah showed up in town. His first scene was at Orphe Jeans. He didn't have enough money to pay for his food, his meal, and Deanna was there, and she paid for it. And he talked for a couple minutes. She took his number, and so he could repay her. He then went directly to Garland to see his dad. That's when we found out who he was, and that he was Kyle's son. He asked Kyle for money. Kyle got pretty angry and told him that he wasn't going to give him the money. But then he said that he'd give him the money if he applied for the job of the new free clinic manager, that they need. They haven't replaced Derek yet. So he agreed he would apply. Noah is a musician. He had his guitar with him. He's the youngest son of Kyle. I believe Kyle has 2 sons, if I'm remembering correctly. So we met one of them. But Bill continues to have issues with his health. Of course, at the end today, Haley had him doing exercises and doing an exercise program. She probably knows that if he exercises, it will cause his heart damage because of the poison she's giving him. So I'm sure that's why she has him exercise. Of course, it also looks good she has him exercise like she's trying to make him healthy when she's trying to kill him at the same time. So this is typical soap opera. Randy and Haley at a meeting earlier in the week at that place. They've never said what that place is. Like, people go there for coffee, it seems like. I'm not sure exactly where it is. I thought it was in the club, but I don't think it's in the club. But Randy and Haley were talking there. Mona came in. Haley went to get her coffee. Randy was talking to Mona. Randy likes Mona. She's a nice lady, and he likes her. And he likes that she actually has morals. And so she was walking away as Haley came back, and Haley called her a couple names that were not very nice. And Randy got mad. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. And I don't yawn all day, and then when I get on here to do the show, I yawn. I don't get it. But he went off on Haley, and he was like, you better not be calling her names. Don't call her names. And Haley's getting worried that Mona is going to turn Randy into a good person. And then Randy might actually tell what he's doing, and that's not, that worries Haley. So we've got, something's got to happen soon with Bill. It has to. Anita gave Laura a necklace to thank her for scheduling the mammogram, in which led to her cancer diagnosis. Because Anita said if she hadn't, scheduled the appointment, Anita might not have found out, and Anita might have died. So she really, she gave her this nice necklace, and Laura was very grateful. And, Laura's very faithful to the Duprees, very dedicated to them. She's Nicole's assistant, but, she helps Anita with various things too. Like she helped her with the Winterfest. So Andre seems to be up to something. Okay, he does. He seems to be up to something. I know at the end, he just said, well, he went to, you know, Orphe Jeans to pick up, what was that, cheesecake? I'm not sure what it was. I think it was cheesecake. But there's something going on there. And he had a mysterious phone call yesterday and a note. And then, Danny saw him at Orphe Jeans during the live stream. So something is going on there. But hey, Danny, you cheated on him. So you shouldn't worry too much if he does it to you because you cheated on him. Okay, so but Joey's sister showing up. I don't like her. Of course, we're not supposed to like her, probably. She's a person you're not supposed to like. And she wants to have Joey hit. Not Joey, Smitty hit. She wants him killed because he's digging into the plasma ring. Well, and Joey told her no way. And but then Joey had to go and take care of something on the floor of the casino, and Vanessa shows up, and Joey's sister's there. And that's where he left it Friday. But, of course, she makes Vanessa think he's another woman in Joey's life, like Vanessa. But, of course, we know that's not true. It's his sister. But she's weird. I don't like her. She just gives me a really weird vibe. I don't like her at all. And it has nothing to do with the fact that she's a mobster and she was head of the plasma ring. So it just bugs me. She just bugs me. And I kind of hope I hope she's not on here long because I don't really like her. So what'll happen is she'll be a legacy character. She'll be on here forever. But that's pretty much what happened this week. The previews were good for next week. Anita wants to go out on the town. She wants to paint the town red, she said. So it looks like there's going to be a good party at Uptown and next week, and that should be fun. It looked like we got some good episodes coming up next week with some action, some fun, and that should be pretty good. And I'm looking forward to that. I got to give them credit. They always have good previews. Makes you want to come back next week. If they didn't have previews, I'd still come back next week. And I hope most of you would. But I think that they do a good job with that. But so until next time, next week, we'll probably go around 15 minutes, 15, 20. If there's a lot more to talk about, if a lot of specific things happen, then we'll be on longer. But, I think 15 minutes is good to recap the show without talking about stuff and being boring. But until next time, until next week at 3:00, hopefully I'll see you somewhere around Fairmount Crest.